Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gamg and welcome back to the Neil Robertson Pro Career on Snooker 19. Today it is time for part 71 of Season 4 and the beginning of the ManBet X Welsh Open, the final event of the Home Nation Series and of course the final Home Nation Series event in this career mode. So hopefully we can sign off from that series with a good result. And today we play in the last 16. It's a best of 7 encounter, so we will play all of the frames in today's episode against Shaun Murphy the Magician. Now, unbelievably, I checked this because I didn't think it was right. We've only played Shaun Murphy 3 times in this whole career mode. It's the first time we played against Shaun Murphy this season. It ends the little run. I know there's not much of a sample size, but it ends the run of only playing Shaun Murphy in odd years, in Season 1 and Season 3. We haven't got a very good record, though, against Shaun Murphy. Again, I know it's a small sample size, but I remember Shaun Murphy was one of our first big matches in the last 16 of the Shanghai Masters, and he beat us by 3 frames to 2. He also beat us by that amount in the Championship League last year, so we have excuses, really, for both of those matches. I think we were pretty much out of the Championship League by that point as well. And then we beat him by 6 frames to 3 in the Masters last season. So, again, it's a small sample size. Murphy is a good player, but we have started the Welsh Open pretty well, if I may say so. In the last 128, 128 is it? Of course it is, yeah. In the last 128, we had a very good match. We beat Harvey Chandler, I think 3-1, and in the first frame, I had a really, really solid clearance for 129 or 130, I think. We just got off to a really good start in that match. We found a pot and just went for it. It's one of the best frames I've probably played in a while. And I took some of that positivity into the last 64, the last 32. Now, it's been a day since those matches that I've played, so we'll probably be terrible today by the looks of it. Also, bear in mind that I'm recording this on Wednesday evening itself, once I've finished work at about 4 PM. So if it goes out a little bit later than usual, then I'll just apologise for that. Anybody who knows me well knows that my internet speed is shoddy at best. So apologies for that. It's just I didn't get time to do this last night. I didn't want to rush it, but I thought, well, I can squeeze it in just after work and try my best not to miss a video. But things certainly getting a bit busier again now. I know at my works it's hectic. Absolutely hectic in the automotive industry. But back to the snooker. And we've got a decent half chance at the start of this first frame. And it's a good shot. It's a good opening red. And that isn't too dissimilar of that ilk that the break we beat Harvey Chandler with. And you might go, well, it's only Harvey Chandler. But nevertheless, he'd left a bit of a half chance, much like that one that Shaun had left, and we just went for it. Now, I know that 128 is not our best break by any stretch, but it was just that sort of boisterousness, and, you know, we did really well in that break, and we didn't play anything like that against Judd Trump in the last match that you saw on the channel. So it was just a bit of confidence. It was a great bit of confidence for us going into some of the bigger stages of this event. Now, unfortunately, we've got the wrong side of the black, or we're a bit too straight on it, so we can't queue for this red, or maybe we can. Let's see. It was certainly a tricky job, but 16. We did our best, and we haven't done a bad job there. We could have made that a lot easier for ourselves, I appreciate that, but we didn't. Is this going to be the tale of we're too straight on the black? I think it is. 17. Yeah. All the same, we'll try and go into them. Can't see it, but it's always worth a shot. No, it's going to be like that last shot, isn't it? It's going to come down towards the cushion rather than up the table. But nevertheless, we've got some good points on the board. What's that? 2 reds, 2 blacks, I think, there. Oh, no, 3 reds, 3 blacks, a bonus. And again, it's just good to know when to stop. When the fun stops, stop. But when you stop having a chance at potting, then you got to stop. And we played a good safety. And that should go up nicely to the bulk and nestling nicely behind the green.
Well, he's got it. Great shot.
And to make it even sweeter, we've managed to snooker Mr. Murphy, so not the best start for him. It's a decent opportunity this for us here. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days where we're just constantly, well, not straight on the black, but not being able to get a great angle on the black, and that obviously just makes things a lot more difficult when it comes to positional play. So I'm going to see, just to guarantee things, whether we can get one of these to the middle pocket. And I think we can. I think that's the best tactic, to be honest, at the moment. Rather than relying on our backspin to be bang on. Again, it's a tricky pot to this middle pocket, but you can just guarantee things a lot better. And we'll play for the blue. Again, I think we've got a good chance of potting this. Yeah, and it's there.
What about that for a positional shot?
It doesn't really matter too much about where we get for the blue for this next red. If you look, we can go for either cushion. And again, as regular viewers of this series will know, our long potting isn't too shabby.
14.
But it is very much snooker fever season, isn't it? With the World Championship starting in a few days' time. Now, it's something I'll definitely be looking forward to. I'm watching a lot of the qualifying action. Don't tell my gaffer at work. No, only joking. But no, when I have been able to, I've been watching a lot of the qualifiers. And it's just great to have top-class snooker in a time where, you know, we haven't got some of the things that we want in our lives.
20.
But rather than being miserable, let's just keep on the positivity and see what we can do in this break.
This looks relatively easy.
Not quite come along enough for the black, but again, I think the blue should be achievable. Maybe the green here. We've got an advantage though. Our long potting's really good. That can get us out of most situations.
Into the right corner.
$24.
This isn't easy.
And although it might not be fantastic and fabulous and all the rest of it, if we keep going the way we are, we're going to win the first frame without a hitch. What I mean by that, it's not a fancy break, but it doesn't have to be. We've just got to make sure that we don't lose touch, lose focus.
$32.
So apply the red to the middle pocket. It's a good pot.
33.
And can we get to the blue? We can. Okay.
So, this pot into the right corner.
Ooh, just about dropped. Wasn't the best angle, but it's there. Still 6 reds on this table, unbelievably.
38.
So, just this red and the black. And it's a good start to this match.
39.
So
Just the black needed. And it's there.
No issues there.
Good stuff.
that should be it. No real way for his opponent to win the frame now.
So, 68 left on the table. We could really do with a pot here, to be honest, but I don't think we're going to get one, truthfully. Unless we play a really good double. But looking at it, as long as we don't commit a foul here, which hopefully we won't, we might as well go for a pot and try and open up the reds, because then it just makes it a lot harder for Murphy to play a safety. No, not quite. Unless we commit a foul. Any harder, that would have been a foul. So Murphy's going to try and play some safety here. I mean, he's going to try and pot the red first, I suppose. Get a few balls potted, then play the safety, and then do this stupid thing where they don't play the colour. I mean, that's just baffling. Because obviously if you don't play the colour, you're effectively giving up 7 points, which is an additional 2 snookers you require. And he now needs more snookers, given we potted the red. So that safety battle was fairly short and indeed sweet.
8.
In fact, no point playing on here. Let's just get on with the next frame. 77 ahead, 51 on. He's going to be quite happy to concede that one, and that really was the result from the start. But obviously just needed to play some safety.
So he's opened up a one-frame.
Well, we didn't need to play much safety, to be honest. Just needs to pop the red with a bit of side, and that's what we did do. And it's a good start, but as we've seen in previous matches, a good start doesn't really lead to anything. Got to keep that up.
To get the cue ball tight on the cushion here.
I thought he played a bad shot there, but he just about missed the pack of reds. Just a very thin nick off the pack. Back up to bulk for safety, but even the Swedish, if this ended up nestled behind the green, but I don't think we'll have that sort of fortune. It's not far off, though. Another inkling of power, and we could have really had a good shot there. Oh, that's a good shot from the Murph. I don't know if it's worth just playing a little bit of side here. That's a good shot. That's a good shot, that. Okay, a long red doesn't really lead to anything in isolation. I accept all that. But you're not going to open up all the packs. Obviously, if you do end up missing it, then your opponent reaps all the rewards. However, this looks like a good opportunity to go into them. See if we can make an opportunity of some kind. Be rather unfortunate not to leave anything on here.
6.
I could be wrong. That might be exactly what's happened. And that would be absolutely unbelievable. I mean, they're applauding the split, but I can't really see why, because as you can see here, there's nothing that's an attractive opportunity, and rather than getting in here, we've got a very tricky safety shot to play. I don't know, do we just try and get the cue ball back where it is? I think that might be the aim of the game. That wasn't the aim, though. That was not the aim. Wow.
Neil Robertson.
That didn't work. So very unlucky there. Played the positive shot, and it didn't turn out well at all. I accept our safety was poor, but with the amount that the reds were open, it was just a real catch-22. Anything I did there probably wouldn't work. Unless he plays a good long pot here, there's not much for Murphy that's going to come to fruit at this visit. But it's a good shot. Ooh, it's tight colour on the black. I wouldn't like to play this myself. It's the only thing he can play. Oh, he's going to play the pink. Of course he is. Never mind me. Never mind me.
11.
Oh, a few nice, very nice cannons we reds there that have left him plumb on the black.
18.
And this might be an opportunity that proves a lot more fruitful than maybe I first anticipated.
26. 27. 32.
So we just have to sit back and wait whether Sean Murphy makes a mistake here. But it was our, potentially you could say, reckless shot that caused the opportunity for Murphy.
40.
Depends what your view is. We're very conservative in that last frame. This time round again a bit more bullshit.
41.
And sometimes it works. And sometimes it definitely doesn't.
46. 47. 54. 55. 57.
Ooh. Good shot.
That's well
Good
played,
recovery there.
Wrist.
I don't know if that's what he intended, so maybe not a recovery after all. But I looked at that and thought, interesting.
65.
But he does lead by 59 now, so just the solitary red required to bring us back to a status quo of 1 each.
Just this red needed.
And a potential century chance for Sean Murphy, particularly now he's done a good job to separate those two reds on the cushion that were previously unpottable.
72. 73. 80. 81. 88. 89. 94. 96. 99.
This Brown for the century.
103.
Not spoke too much during this frame because he's played really well as Murphy. You just got to admire that sort of play sometimes.
114.
And from, well, it was a poor safety shot from us, no doubt, but I didn't think he'd make 121 from that. At a break of 3, I was surmising that it might not prove too fruitful, that. It's fair to say I was completely wrong, and it did.
That's the frame in the bag.
So back to 1 each we go.
Thank you. The third frame. Sean Murphy to break.
So a big couple of frames to come here. A bit more of an aggressive break off from Murphy again. You don't know whether that was intended or not, but it's not worked out well for him. We love a long red. Again, it just depends if we're going to be fortunate today with
This is a half chance.
the positioning from these long reds.
That is a quality opening red.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a bit of luck. If we ever needed one. I was going to say before I played that, and you might have heard a bit of hesitation in my voice, I was going to say we're really good at these long pots, and then I realised, no, that's just completely jinxing ourselves to go and miss that. And to be fair, we nearly did. I feel like if I'd have said that we would have missed. So I'm justified in sticking to that plan of being quiet there. I have to go for the blue, I think, here, because the black is not onto that one corner pocket.
9.
Look to get rid of that red, but that's not our first priority here. First priority is to stay at the table by any means possible.
Right up his street.
Or if not, having the means to play a good enough safety to put our opponent in some trouble. And I don't think that's a scenario that we can get to just yet. Particularly with this red being near the bulk. And obviously that's an issue that's going to be rectified by putting that one into the centre pocket. In fact, we can try and solve that issue now. Have that red getting in the way of the black. I mean, to be honest, it's a bit inadvertent because it's the only red that we can play for. So it's by chance. Then what's the fancy thing? It's by design or wherever it is. Yeah, I should listen more in these meetings at work, shouldn't I?
21.
A good start to this third frame. Not been too much scrappy safety, you have to say, has there? In all the frames, we've had a long red. Could have been, 2-0 at this stage, but we accept we made a mistake. There's always a risk with going with these long reds and trying to split the reds up. There's a risk to everything in life, but yeah, this isn't really the forum to start discussing all that rubbish. But now we can get to the black. That's a big help, really is. Just means we don't have to keep travelling up and down the table
36.
to find the blue ball. So even though we've got that one red on the cushion, I feel like it's the opportunity opportune time even to get into the pack.
That's a really good split.
And let's see if the split rewards us this time with a potting chance, and it certainly will. We've got a few avenues we can go down.
He's lining this up into the right middle pocket.
And this, like the Murphy frame really last time out, this looks like a good chance
45.
to win the frame in this visit. But again, wouldn't hold on to your horses too quickly. Because anything can happen in these frames. And as Murray Walker used to say, it usually does. Obviously not a snooker commentator, but I think that can be applied to the game of snooker as well.
53. 60.
Come up a bit short there, so just to keep the risk fairly low, I'm going to have to play probably for the blue here. Or even one of the bulk colours at worst case. So we'll cover both avenues.
No problem there.
I think probably looking at a blue down to the black corner pocket, but we'll see.
61.
Yeah, that blue looks probably the wisest shot to play.
Well, no surprises here with the long pot attempt.
We just need this to come far enough to clear the pink, and that should be adequate.
66.
And I mean, these three frames have just flew. I know that we almost gave Murphy that chance in the last frame, but some really good breaks. Obviously, Murphy played a very good break. Sure, we
67.
did it in 2 chunks over 2 visits.
Just the black required.
But this black will give us the frame in 1 visit. And it's looking like a real high quality game at the moment. 3 frames done in the space of 20 minutes of play.
He's lining this
Not
one
often you
middle
see
pocket.
that.
Position looks good for a colour.
And my upload speed is grinning at that. Thinking, well, you know, I'm not under so much pressure now. But again, long way to go. Certainly not looking at any sort of winning line yet.
Perfect pace required for this shot.
'83.
I was going to play that for the black, but again, I'm just not confident with the angles, so we'll steer clear.
'89.
This is a challenging shot along the cushion.
90. 97.
This is a tricky one along the cushion.
98.
I did think, I wish I'd have played that red. The other one, that is first.
Fantastic century. Brilliant.
But we might knock this one off the cushion and make it more potable, which we have done. That glosses over the fact we've just made a ton, as Dave Hendon correctly points out. First time for everything. But this is a really good chance for a really special break. But it's a tough red to the middle pocket, which I can't really see us getting. But no harm in taking it on. No, we've misjudged that completely. And again, it's just like anything, any shot that you don't take on too often, it's not a surprise. But an excellent break, 105 there, makes it 2 centuries in Medis frames. And we lead again by 2 frames to 1.
So,
Now privileged, we get to take another shot.
I agree. This is a great opportunity to really turn the screw on his opponent.
So this frame's a pretty big one. 2 each. It's all up, effectively. It's all up in the air, I suppose. Again, my similes and metaphor recognition today is rubbish. Good start to the 4th frame from Sean Murphy. This might be a little bit different to previous frames. Just going to try and swerve our way round here. And as you can see, it hasn't worked. Not
the
too
inside
damning
of the
though.
tree. He'll be
Leaves
annoyed
him
with
one
that.
or two reds to go for. That
One.
can quickly turn into an opportunity which is much larger.
Eight. 9. 12.
And now he's opened up the reds. Might be a bit more tempting.
18.
So he didn't do a lot wrong there. It's a good break off. Well, it was a good break off from us, but Sean Murphy played an equally good safety.
19.
And to be honest, you know, although the safety isn't brilliant, you know, there are opportunities being given away. The play, whether that's myself or Sean, both taking those opportunities really well. And this is where I hope that it backfires and Murphy has a terrible break here and doesn't quite make it. But the way he's playing and the way the Reds are, I can see him winning this frame in this single visit. So it looks like it's been a very good start. Good first 4 frames in this match. And although it's not scrappy in terms of the safety play, it's certainly scrappy in terms of the score.
33.
A few more reds out into the open. Again, if I was a betting man,
41.
which I am sometimes. Did I tell you I won £240 on the golf for the weekend? I did. They were paying, Sky Bet were paying 11 places on the Masters. So, as always with the majors,
46.
well, I think 3 or 4 times a year. I have a bit of a dabble on the golf, £30 or £40 at a time. I don't really bet on much more these days.
52.
And by chance, I managed to pick the winner, Matsuyama, at 33 to 1. £5 each way. So I got back, what, £220, £230?
Sean Murphy, 53.
And then I had Justin Rose at 66 to 1, who finished in the top 11. But let's forget bet my Wittering because Sean Murphy has got a bit of rye there. Oh, that was very nearly a very good shot. It is, you know. I thought it might have given him an opportunity to pot into the middle. Clearly not. That was a good safety from where we were, given we were in that snooker. And that golf analogy will have to wait, because if we play some good safety here, we might have an outside chance of getting back into the frame. Which a few minutes ago, I wouldn't have said we'd have had a chance in doing. Again, it's a tempting red here. Very much an all or nothing shot. But I think he's presented the chance that we've got to go for it. Again, all or nothing if we miss. I think it's frame over. But if we pot it, it could be a great opportunity. And that has definitely opened things up.
1.
And obviously that swing between it being 2-1, 2 each, and 3-1. It's a big swing. Helps us out a lot in our pursuit of getting to the last 8.
8.
But we have took this kind of, I guess, laissez-faire attitude into some of these frames. In terms of coming back, I thought, well, we haven't really got a chance, so we might as well just play something that's a little bit out there, I suppose, and it doesn't work.
No doubt.
And it's an opportunity missed. But I think here, he says...
No, not quite.
Oh,
Pretty close
Christ.
though, but that won't provide any solace.
Nicely onto the colour.
I really talk the talk, but don't do the walk, do I? That happens too often. Really does. We have a chance to get back into a frame, and we score a pathetic score, to be honest. We played a really good pot to get in there, and we just didn't do enough with that. And as I said, the gap between 3-1 and 2 each is huge, and we might come back to rue that.
16.
Wouldn't have been worried if it was 2 each and Sean would have won it in one visit. Now, I could have accepted that, but the fact we had a chance
17.
and we only made 9 out of that is poor. Really is. So I'm going to be a miserable old git, and, well, not exactly old. I'm in my 20s now. And concede the frame, but I don't want to get too wound up by that, so let's just get on with the next frame. And that's a good safety. It's a good shot, that. Ooh, did not want to hit the yellow full ball there, I'll tell you. Really didn't.
He's going for it.
And this, I think, a must-win frame. I have to say, I really think so for us. Just one of them win it, and your favourite to win the match. If you lose it, well, long way back from there. So, big black here.
Good split.
And it's a good split.
Really open the table up here.
Opens the table up. However, if the first pot on, it's all well and good opening the table up, but there's not really a whole lot to brag about here in terms of a chance, which is why I'm just going to play this a little bit with safety in mind if it goes wrong. And I was right to. I was really right to there.
From a player of his skills.
And we're starting to struggle a bit here.
Robertson, 8.
Just don't want that 3-1, that feeling of, you know, we could be 3-1 up to hang over us. However, Sean Murphy has, well, done little to panic us there. So we're going to play a safety and try our utmost to sneak in behind this yellow ball. So there we go. It's the only way we can get truly safe. And it's got a good line as it got the length. Not quite. But it doesn't leave a pot on, which ultimately was the main aim. Both players know how big this frame could be, so I need to make sure we play some good snooker. And we have left a potting chance should he want to dare take it on.
Well, he's taking the red on.
And he's going for it, and it's there.
That's a fabulous pot.
1.
So let's see what he can make of this.
7.
Because if he goes 3-2 up, my God, we start banging our head up against a brick wall. Thinking of what if we would have gone 3-1 up. Effectively, a 3 strikes and you're out. You know, if he goes 3-2 up, then one bad shot and you could be out. The difference between that is monumental.
$16. 21. $22. 29. 30. 35. Sean Murphy.
But would you believe that? Would you, Adam and Eve, that? Missed the red. On most occasions, that would be a sitter.
1.
And it's not so much that we've got a brilliant chance to finish it off this frame, if you like, but it stops him being at the table. And I think we have to take advantage of that and try and play a good snooker. Murphy looks disapprovingly at that. And no wonder.
Yup, nicely done.
A little bit overdone if I'm going to be a perfectionist, but it's not a bad shot. But kudos to Mr. Murphy. He doesn't do a bad job of getting out of that. So, need to play another good safety here to match the one that Sean's just played. And we should have some covering behind the green now.
Not an easy one, but a half chance.
Good
Well,
pot.
that's just
Very good stuff. Knew we needed to get
superb.
round the pack to make that effective.
1.
And we've done it. I just feel like the tone of this has changed a little bit. Again, talking about my cheery Masters win. Which was great. So now it gets really serious because
6.
one mistake. And again, I just think at 3-2 down, I'd just zap to confidence. Win this one and it's all back again.
7.
Funny how the mind can play tricks on you.
14.
So,
I got my
this
judgment
pot's
right on
into
this
the
red.
right corner.
And I have done. Sweet as a nut.
What a top pot that was.
15.
But still early days in this break. Need to keep it going. Maintain it. Look to pop this red to the middle. And then I think try and open up these three. I'm just not comfortable with them sitting there.
He's lining this one up to the middle pocket. Great shot.
But would you, Adam and Eve, it's the same old adage. 2 straight on the black. If we just try and
with a lot of power.
pinpoint one of them out of there, it might just move the lot. And there we go. So it's not so bad in the end, as I was potentially professing it might be.
28.
And after that good shot, we just need to deliver the goods now. Keep potting balls, and we're 1 away from the last 8. And again, using that analogy from earlier, we get 2 strikes. Albeit it's not free, but, you know, past is the past. Can only affect what we're doing now. If we keep potting blacks, I don't mind that.
37.
Try and make this fairly straight to the ball corner pocket. That's where we're aiming for with this red. But to be honest, we've not done that brilliantly. But it's okay, to be honest. It's not anywhere near as bad as I initially thought.
He's aiming to sink this into the right corner. Well, an excellent pot.
Great technique.
Green next, not going to try and attack that pink, so obviously we won't need it to win the frame, so I'm not concerned about it. Get the green, then the yellow, then the green again.
48.
And what will give us as a lead? I think we might need the brown, but
Only the colours remaining.
I think we might only need the green, actually. Let's have a butcher's at the score line after this.
50.
23 up, so yes, it is just the green we need. Obviously, we'd like the brown for a bit more security. But this green needed. And barring snookers, we lead by 3 frames to 2. 2 frames to go. We need 1. Sean Murphy needs both to stay in the Welsh Open. But just like to get this brown just to secure things. And it's there. It drops. And why not? We'll try and pop blue and pink. And even black while we're there.
$62.
Going to be tricky to get on this black, so we'll just go gung-ho with top, see where we end up. Does help if you pop the pink first. Obviously a lot of power on that shot, so no problem in the end. Didn't really matter, but we win the frame. That's the number 1 priority, and we've done that. We really needed that, I think. If we went 3-2 behind, then it would be a bit of a slippery slope potentially from there. So we lead by 3 frames to 2. We need 1. There's 2 to go. If I do have to leave, I usually make these transitions seamless, but the problem is I don't have a clue what I said before I had to go, so I'm not going to try and follow that on by saying the same thing. But we've got a long pot on here, and that is a good red. Just had a new alarm clock delivered. It's wonderful, my life, innit? So exciting. My alarm clock had broken after 10 years. 10 years I'd had it. Dropped it on the floor last night. And well, the display's broke, so
Beautifully done.
if you live with anything for 10 years, you struggle to live without it. I'm only being jovial because we're ahead. However, we need a good positional here. See if we can open these reds up. Got a little bit of leverage.
Lots of power on this shot.
Let's see if the reds do open up.
Not bad at all. Great opportunity.
It's a good split, but again, is the potting opportunity available? It is.
Missed pot, not the outcome.
But not good enough. That wasn't.
Neil Robertson, 14.
Again, it just feels like that in 5 out of these 6 frames at least, we've given ourselves a very good chance to get in and haven't delivered the goods.
4.
We've been a bit unlucky sometimes, sure, but you know, our potting hasn't been good enough.
5.
And it could be a source of frustration, particularly in longer matches, of course. When in reality we could build up a good run of frames, and this sort of play prevents us from doing that. Although, to be fair, you don't want to win every match 4-0. It makes things boring, doesn't it? He says with gritted teeth.
18.
And after all that, looks like we could be in for a decider.
19. 24. 25. 32. 33.
So break of 33 here from Murphy. Again, it's just the way the Reds are. Again, I know, contributed to by us. He's got a good chance here, but I've just stopped in my tracks because he might have mucked this up.
Well, it goes.
It's a good one here. Looks good. Oh, it's there. Very good recovery shot, because I don't care what anybody says on that occasion. He was not planning for that.
41. 46.
Obviously, at one time, we were looking for a home nation sweep. We'd won the first two. We'd won the English and the Northern Ireland.
Murphy, 46.
But didn't win the Scottish, so that debunked anything of that ilk. But he's missed the red. Poor shot from Murphy. Do I play it? No, got to play safe. Got to play safe here. It's a sensible thing to do. Only play safe if you can get the cue ball far enough. We're making this hard for ourselves, really are.
Can he drop this into the right corner?
You know, he's given us opportunities, Murphy. He did when it was 2-1 to us, and we could have made it 3-1. He's given us another one there. And I should have just gone with my instinct to pop the ball. Because at least I could have said I was too aggressive. But he's done it again. Again, he's going to need a good pot to keep him in here. And with what's at stake, it's a brave one to take on, but he's done it well.
Superb cue ball control there.
Don't see him making another mistake after that, surely.
9. 14. 15. 20. 21. 28.
And we are headed, rather reluctantly, for a decider.
29.
And how much being a perfectionist, I don't know, but I just feel like this match should have been won by now.
33. Frame conceded.
Some of the opportunities we've had, and we've blown it.
Thank you, the 7th frame.
It doesn't matter how you play, I guess it's the scoreline that matters. You know, you can lose 5-0 and be the better player. So
Yes.
let's see how we go, but it's a poor break-off from Sean Murphy again. Another opportunity.
1.
Let's see if we can wake up here and really punish him and put Sean Murphy out of the Welsh Open. Certainly a few reds to go at here. Might be our
9.
realisation that, and again, time to wake up.
16.
'Got to play up for the blue there.
17.
Couldn't really get away with trying to stay on the black.
Put your phone on silent, please.
Yes, put your phone on silent in the audience.
No real problem here.
22.
Well, in all these deciders, the only thing you ask for is a chance. And in fairness, we've got one here. And we're using it well at the moment. Although that kick off the red isn't going to help us, really. Which means we have to divert and play the blue. Which, again, I'm not too keen on.
We know what a prolific long potter he is, so I'd assume he'd take this on. That's a beauty.
28.
'Nothing too sizable yet, but these things take time.
29.
But if we're going to do it in this visit, then we're going to need something fairly spectacular in the next few shots to make something happen.
36.
I feel like we've got to go in for the kill here. Need a good pot, which you should be capable of.
Plenty of power.
Good shot. Very good pot. Now, are we going to add the SH onto that?
He's played that very
And
well.
not anything after the SH other than O.
37.
We are. We're going to play a very good pot. And see if we are rewarded with that. With a very good split.
That's a good
Let's
split.
see.
He's got a real chance here.
I like how the cue ball's moved out of there. It gives us a good chance. And there's definitely at least something on here. And a chance to finish this once and for all.
He's just looking to
Get us only by a decider. But again, it doesn't matter as long as you get through. As long as you get to 4 frames. And your opponent doesn't. The only thing that matters in this game. That
Very
has
nicely
gone
done.
a little bit too far, has it? It has for the one I was going for, but to be honest, at least there's this one available, so we just have to change our planning.
51.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I had a sinking feeling then, I really did. I thought that red hadn't made it.
Well, I'm not surprised.
And
he's
it was
taking on
oh
one
so
here.
close. Because if that hadn't made it,
Another
Murphy had
trademark
got a real
20
chance.
long pot.
56.
it's fine margins, but it just about dropped.
Pace is key.
And again, we very nearly mucked it up, but luckily we didn't. And from here,
57.
you would back us pretty strongly now to go and finish off the job.
$63.
So, 6 reds left on the table. This red and the black. And we'll get away from a mixed bag, let's say. We'll get off scot-free.
Nicely done, the black.
Barring snookers, of course.
64.
And this black
Black ball required.
will give us entry to the next round.
Down it goes.
That effective
Very good snooker when we needed it.
comeback in this match.
No, it's not been brilliant all day, of course it hasn't, but
71.
you know, we can take a lot of pride from the way we've played in this last frame.
Onto the left
When we needed the good snooker, we delivered it.
that's a top.
Found a long red,
72.
potted it, and that was all she wrote. So we're bringing you the last 8 on Friday. I don't know if it's a best of 9 or a best of 11, but it is if it is a best of 9 or even a best of 7, I doubt it's a best of 7. If it's a best of 9, I will be doing that in one episode. So that'll be interesting. But that's more so to prepare for the Worlds, you see. See if we can
A lot of power.
sustain for that amount of frames. Because obviously in the Worlds, if we get to the later stages, we'll need to play in 8 or 9 frame sessions, or else it's going to be very long World Championships. Try and come off a few cushions here to pop the ball. We can't, but doesn't matter because we are victorious in this game.
Neil
Took
Robertson
less than an hour to play 7 frames. Some very good snooker on offer, but nevertheless,
and match.
a cracking match. We can say that now it's all said and done. And we have come out of this match victors. We are through to the quarterfinals with a win of 4 frames to 3. Good stuff. I really enjoyed that. It was a close run thing, but as I said, when we needed to deliver the goods in that final frame, we made sure we did. So who's the quarterfinal going to be against? It is against Ronnie O'Sullivan, who, would you believe it, is ranked 8th. That is criminal. We haven't played Ronnie. In fact, this might be... No, it's not. I think we've played him once since, but we haven't played him very often since that defeat in the World Championships last season. But Ronnie O'Sullivan in the quarterfinal of the Welsh Open, so we'll be seeing that one in Friday's episode. A best of 9 should be a cracker to see if we can beat the Rocket and accelerate through to the semi-final. If you enjoyed that, folks, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content. Thank you for your company, folks, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.